In that exam room, something occurred. It was neither the ranking, the heartbeat, nor the ultrasound that mattered. Before they even entered the car, he said it aloud. You could hear the entire internet inhale as soon as it left his mouth. I assume you all heard it too, right? Thus, I had to go back twice. He told her that she had it better than the other two as he observed her sitting in the passenger seat, 35 weeks pregnant, her hormones raging. This is the most amazing pregnancy he has ever experienced with a woman. I'm not making this up either. He made an effort to market it as a compliment.
No.
Today, we won't do that. By the way, hit the subscribe button if you're the kind of person that watches these videos twice, notices what everyone else missed, and returns for the receipts that no one else shows. Press the bell. Give the video a like. In roughly 90 seconds, this one becomes nasty. The appointment date is July 24th, 2026. 35 weeks pregnant, Nevaeh Akira entered her OB/GYN with Jonathan Porter, aka Blueface. Solar Porter is the baby boy's rumored name if you've been under a rock, riding shotgun. The clinic confirmed August 24th, 2026 as the due date in previous visits. According to BC Conline, the conception window ends on December 1st, 2025. The typical 35-week checklist was covered at the visit itself. Textbook fundal height, 35 centimeters. Ultrasound confirms head-down posture. A scheduled GBS sample for the 36-week checkup, heartbeat, and breathing motions on the screen. Nevaeh weighed 275 pounds. She purposefully stated that on camera. However, that is the layer of medicine. The actual incident, which is the subject of this entire segment, took place in the vehicle. Pay attention to what he said rather than what she asked. Additionally, since the incident isn't happening in a vacuum, it's important to consider the context before moving forward. This meeting took place 2 days after Nevaeh shared a pregnant carousel that attracted over 1 million interactions in only 18 hours for the BCK online engagement snapshot. It happened 4 days after Blueface posted a since-deleted Instagram story with a timestamp of 2:14 a.m. showing him at what viewers believed to be a Vegas club table. A Tuesday, when she was about 34 weeks along in her pregnancy. It was a full week since their last public appearance together. Therefore, realize that when he enters a parking lot when a camera is rolling and tells her that she is the one who gets treated the best, he is not making a new remark. It ends with a week of silence, club footage that was released, and a common area that has been posing the same query since May. For the younger viewers, it's also important to note that Nevaeh Akira isn't a random person, since I frequently receive direct messages inquiring who she is. She revealed her pregnancy in a shared Instagram post in January 2026, has been openly associated with Blueface since late 2025, and is the only one of the 3 new mothers to record the entire medical procedure from ultrasound to ultrasound. The mother of 2 of his children, Jaden Alexis, has her own camera roll next to reality. Krazian Rock has a whole Zeus Network series and is the mother of his firstborn son. The newest member of a well-established franchise is Nevaeh. Remember that in the back of your mind. It eventually becomes load-bearing. For those who enjoy mapping these things, the clinic itself is a private OB/GYN practice located in the Los Angeles area. Nevaeh has taken 2 low-detail photos of the exterior, being sure to blur the street signs. Once, in a May story, the doctor's face was briefly displayed. He is making decisions about what the camera records inside that room because everything else has been audio only or ultrasound screen only. This is a minor detail, but it counts. The phone is in his hand. It is up to him to decide what gets cut. Without paraphrasing, just from the ride to the clinic. I've never had a better pregnancy as a woman than this one. I literally gave you the best treatment. When someone is pregnant, I usually have a whole other girlfriend. It's a straight draw.
He is that.
In his own voice. As if he were reading her a Yelp report, he rolled it out. Nevaeh's answer was silent, flat, and not even loud. Throughout my entire pregnancy, I have been abandoned. Just one line. Don't be dramatic. The one that strikes is that one. Then he doubled down because it seemed he couldn't stop while he was ahead. For this reason, there are moments when I simply must go.
Leave.
I must spend time with my boys. She also clocked him. Right away. then you are exposed by the boys you hang out with. Despite hanging out with the fellas, you wind up dating girls. How does that occur? That one has to sit with me. Like really? It's not a jab. That is a bow-adorned receipt. Amused, then not in response. In the context of the industry, Cruzian Rock has been known to refer to him as an energy vampire for this Instagram meltdown during her own pregnancy. According to All About the Tea, Jaden Alexis also declared in public that she enjoyed being told she was the superior baby mama. Hold that thought. In roughly 4 paragraphs, it matters. Silent. The mainstream clip mills snipped around this article. There's a beat between the fact that I gave you the best treatment and the fact that I've been abandoned during my pregnancy. A pause of 3 seconds. Long enough to give the impression that he might change his mind. Enough time for her to collect her thoughts. She doesn't scream. She doesn't shed tears. She delivers the statement with the same enthusiasm you would use to inform someone that the milk has gone bad. The reason for this flatness is that a lady who is 35 weeks pregnant, sobbing, exhausted, bloated, and carrying about 40 more pounds lacks the ability to pretend to be calm. That serenity is well-deserved. When someone has run out of surprise, that calm occurs. And play the audio again. Take note of the phrase for a female, not for you. Not with a partner. For women, that choice of noun is working. In a 2023 interview, he employed the same grammatical distance when referring to Croction for an archived video that was circulating once more. Distance, detachment, woman, pregnancy, and vocabulary are all the same. Compare it to the quote from Jaden. According to reports, Jaden, a mother of a son and girl who has been intermittently engaged to him since 2018, enjoyed being told she was the better baby mama. That framing was used when Croction was pregnant, and it essentially served as a public rank order announcement, according to the same All About the Tea rundown. Now, after 3 years and another pregnancy, he is using the same technique. The compliment was given to a different woman. The woman was positioned differently than before. The same play. Records show that this ranking behavior is not coincidental. It's a habit. Furthermore, a habit in a performer who has a track record of making money off of his relationships is not a peculiarity of his nature. It's a method used in business. I want to be sure I'm not cherry-picking, so here's one more receipt. According to profane account transcriptions circulating on boards, Blueface claimed that Nevaeh was unique because she didn't ask for anything in a live stream from late April 2026, the one immediately following the Nova scenario getting public. She doesn't ask, which makes it different. The fact that he treats her differently does not make it different. She is different because she makes fewer expectations. The compliment is that. The metric is that. 3 months later, he's transformed that framing into the most amazing pregnancy I've ever given a woman. The words became glossier. The engine underneath remained unchanged. The best pregnancy claim doesn't align with the calendar. Therefore, align it now. On March 23, 2026, a brand new hip-hop document in Nevaeh caught him in the middle of a magnificent cheat. She had a pregnancy already. Hollywood Unlocked revealed on Instagram on April 27 that she was preparing a DNA paternity test following an ex's public claim to the child. In May, a man by the name of Nova entered the ring and demanded that Blueface give him a call on the paternity. Additionally, no verified test results were available to the public as of a May 21st update. Then June arrives, and according to an Instagram post by All About the Teas, he makes a remark about perhaps cheating once more because Nevaeh hasn't been doing her chores. Now, the doctor's parking lot is on July 24th. He claims to have given her the best treatment. Really, wait, get back up. This is the section. He is comparing himself to a poor companion. It's him when Cruzian and Jaden are expecting. The metric is that. The bar is not on the ground. He's praising himself for crossing the bar, which is located in the basement. She is not being complimented by the best pregnancy line. It's an admission regarding the other two. She also heard it. I've been abandoned throughout my pregnancy because of this. Like a slammed door. It landed. The 4-month window I just went through is simply the top layer, so allow me to extend the period even farther. The depth of the archaeological cut is greater. Although Nevaeh's pregnancy has not yet been made public, the BCK Online article places conception on or around December 1st, 2025. This puts Blueface at the window of conception, following a highly publicized custody dispute with Jaden that was reported by several gossip sites in November 2025. In other words, he was already juggling in public when this baby was conceived. The combined pregnancy announcement was made in January 2026. The response to the mirrored repost in the comment section was around 60-40 suspicion and congratulations. Months passed while the skeptics counted. It was accurate for the skeptics to count. The first ultrasound content was published in February 2026. To begin with, who does the infant appear to be bit by? There is a lot of engagement. He observes. The deception was discovered in March 2026. It was framed as magnificent by hot new hip rap. For the reporting, Nevaeh entered an area he wasn't meant to be in, located what she was looking for, recorded a portion of it, and left for home. Didn't post it right away. Sat on it. That particular detail is important. 4 months later, in a parking lot, she chooses the flat delivery over the outburst, which is more significant because of her restraint. She has now demonstrated twice that she can decide when and how to respond. That's not a woman flailing. That's a woman assembling. Nevaeh arrives in April 2026. The paternity discussion shifted from private to public on April 27th, according to Hollywood Unlock's Instagram rollout. According to reports, a man who claimed to be Nevaeh's ex openly declared that he might be her father. In his live stream response, Blueface reportedly laughed, dismissed, and said, "We'll see when he comes out." Take note of the wording. We'll see when he comes out. Not, we'll see the test. Not, I'm confident. He needed a visual confirmation. He wanted the baby's visage to serve as evidence. The reason for bookmarking that is that, according to the Instagram documentation from the July 24th appointment, he made sure to record the doctor stating that the baby resembles Blueface. 3 months apart, the same approach is consistent. The Nevaeh issue becomes quiet in May 2026, although it is still unresolved. There's a distinction. There is a receipt for a resolution. Quiet just indicates that no one is posting. No test results had been released as per a May 21st update monitored by Hot New Hip Hop. The allegedly humorous message made by Krizian via All About the Tea in June 2026 was interpreted as anything but. Nevaeh just used one carefree emoji in response to screen grabs on her own Instagram. At this point, she has ceased directly fueling the fire. She's letting the receipts speak for themselves. For a 22-year-old who is going to give birth, that is a mature posture. A quiet partner in a public drama is one who is delaying her testimony. Thus, it's also a calculated move. The appointment and the best pregnancy line are scheduled for July 24th, 2026. Check the pattern now. According to both the Instagram breakdown I previously shared and her own Zeus footage, Krizian Rock was expecting her son in the middle of 2023. Reports and self-recorded video show Blueface physically missing several appointments at that time, openly associating himself with Jaden, and allegedly saying on camera that he wasn't certain the baby was his. Does that sound familiar? Because that is the exact same play that is currently playing, beat for beat. However, Nevaeh's more composed demeanor absorbed what Krizian would have exploded with. Additionally, according to Jaden's own remark, she lived with Blueface for months during her pregnancy, while he was openly dating someone else. The ranking mechanism, the "you're the best one" line, is not new, as seen by the "better baby mama" comment that appeared during that period. He uses it as a tool every time he gets pregnant. The woman he points it at is different. 3 of the best pregnancies. A person's math is a math. I have to sit on 2 items. The little things that comprise the entire segment. The eye on the side. Nevaeh is advised by the doctor not to be alarmed if the baby is born up to 2 weeks early. At 39 weeks, Nevaeh says she wants to be induced. Later, in the exam room, she nonchalantly mentions that Blueface was giving her the sidelong glance when the baby might arrive before the line hits it. Go back and read that. He's making calculations. She saw it on camera. She uttered it aloud. And he laughs it off rather than fixing the record. Doesn't refute it. I want to exercise caution now. It is said that he is mentally calculating a conception window. Since May, he has reportedly been embroiled in a public paternity dispute with at least one man. However, the side eye is taped. It's on tape as Nevaeh reads it. Both are real. The 20-inch rim bar of the Honda Civic. He compares side chicks to a 20-inch rimmed Honda Civic, a boy's automobile that has been made to look better than it actually is. Presented in the middle of the defense, the denial, and the argument. The man is a multifaceted individual. When he's performing, dumb isn't one of them. When he says something that can be quoted while the camera is rolling, he knows exactly what he's doing. It's not a slip. A sound bite, that is. Designed with the clip mill in mind. The entire drive was enjoyable. And the visit to the doctor? The mask slightly cracked during the doctor's appointment. I'll add a third point because it came up after I watched the appointment a fourth time. Pronouns wander. He says, "I treated you the best," in a direct, tense manner while driving. All right. When the doctor asks a broad inquiry about their relationship in the exam room, he responds in the third person. She ceases being you when you say things like, "She's been great. She's been eating right. She takes care of the house. She transforms into herself. She is going to give birth in front of a medical professional." For public commentary from the lawyer next to the creators covering the Blueface tale, family court attorneys frequently mark this linguistic transition from second person to third person as audience-aware framing. He was aware that someone else was listening. He made adjustments. Instead of working with Nevaeh, he performed for the physician. That's nothing on its own, so I sat with it for a bit. It's a signal when combined with everything else. The ultrasonography moment's dead space. This is the bit that really got to me. A father putting himself in front of a camera will naturally react when the ultrasound technician points out the baby's profile and says something along the lines of, "There's your boy's nose." Something like an ah, a giggle, or a joke about the nose being his. He becomes silent. There was silence for 2 seconds. Then he adds, "Yeah, I am. That's my boy." And this is captured on tape. Avoid staring at him. Yes. That's the same tone you would use if a barista informed you that your coffee was ready. He can be stressed, exhausted, or a man who doesn't express his feelings verbally. All of that is possible. All of that is fair, but he's the content guy, the guy who narrates his own drive-thrus, the guy who monologues on live stream for hours, and silence is not his default. So, a silent Blueface in a moment that most cameras exist to capture is, at the very least, noteworthy. Nevaeh notices. Watch her face on the reel. She looks up at him during his non-reaction, just a glance, just a flicker, and then she looks back at the screen. That flicker is the whole show. The best pregnancy clip, the car ride footage, has metadata per screen grab that enthusiasts took from a simple TikTok upload of about 3:12 p.m., so the best pregnancy monologue occurred 22 minutes before he entered the room and adjusted his voice to a professional register, knowing he was on his way in. The exam room clock is visible in the upper right corner of several frames, and the appointment reads in at 3:34 p.m. The shade room teens role played it safe. Cute couple. Big belly. Due date countdown. The same man, 2 modes, 1 recording device. This is not a person losing composure, but rather someone managing an audience. Here's what no one wants to say plainly. The Blueface Nevaeh arc has been consistently framed by Complex's coverage as a changing narrative, relying on the confirmation announcement rather than the pattern. The shorter YouTube edits, the doctor's "baby's almost here" cuts, the complete removal of the car ride, the ultrasound, the confession, different outlets, the same story, and different bones showing. This is the counterargument that no one is hesitating to make, so I will. Perhaps Blueface is being honest. Perhaps he did leave the other 2 more brutally, and this is his improvement. The missed appointments, the cheating rumors, and the possibly not his baby subplot, which is somehow worse. Since Blueface has been running the same drama loop since 2022, and outlets have stopped reading the fine print, I don't think the mainstream write-ups are being dishonest. I just think they're tired. If this is the upgrade, what did the previous version look like? Steelman collapses on itself. We're going to read the fine print. Let me expand the media map because fatigue isn't the only factor. Take into account the incentives at work. For example, A large gossip outlet with a 6-person editorial team won't spend billable hours deciphering a car ride monologue when they can push a cute maternity photos post that clears the same click count for a tenth of the labor. The BCK online maternity piece, which is a fine piece, took about 45 minutes to write, while the car ride analysis is currently taking days to rewatch. This is the reason for the existence of this channel. Additionally, there is the issue of access. Media outlets who have traditionally been supportive of Blueface due to the pattern of exclusive interviews and quote pickups have an incentive to maintain a positive narrative frame. By publishing Blueface, an outlet is creating a paper trail. When the kid is born, Tomorrow doesn't get to sit down for an interview. Instead, media that report on how present he is get the tag. This isn't a conspiracy. That's just maintaining relationships in celebrity media. Next, there are platform incentives. For example, Meta's algorithm for reporting from various industry analysts covering the rise of positive frame celebrity content rewards low-conflict engagement in the parenting vertical. This means that a post about a cute couple outperforms an analysis of cheating patterns at the impression level before the click-through even occurs. Therefore, you choose the frame that the algorithm feeds, and that frame is soft if you're a gossip page wanting to survive. All of this is a diagnosis of the ecosystem, not a critique of the outlets. The ecosystem is worn out, it is playing the odds, and it is not designed to analyze a 22-minute interval between two Blueface performances on the same afternoon. We're filling that gap. Now, I want to sit with one more counterframe, because I don't want to cut corners. There is a version of this story in which Blueface has truly matured. The side-eye is nothing. The pronoun drift is just the way he speaks. The doctor visit is what it looks like. An involved partner is filming the milestones, and the best pregnancy comment, despite its clumsiness, is a sincere attempt to express that he's showing up more. At 3:34 p.m. on a Friday, the quiet at the ultrasound represents a weary guy. Okay, I'll give it a chance, but 3 things prevent me from giving that reading the weight it deserves. First, the pattern. He has done this before. Second, the timing. I spoke with Jaden. Third, the material flow. The paternity subplot for May is still open. A man digesting real private growth does not turn his growth into a Wednesday content drop. The Steelman does not survive the calendar. Okay, this is where I stop being nice about it. The entire day was filmed, edited, and posted in less than a day. Everyone is watching this as though it's a pregnancy update, but it's actually a positioning move. Blueface isn't making a mistake on camera. Instead, he's creating a legal and public record narrative in real time. The doctor's appointment is the set piece. Consider what he did in one exam room and one car ride. He recorded that he treated her the best. He asked the doctor twice about how early the baby could arrive, side-eyed her when the 39-week induction came up, and made sure the doctor said, on tape, that the baby looks more like Blueface, per the earlier. Read that line up again, slowly. That's not a boyfriend at a doctor's appointment. That's a defendant building a file. I'm not saying he knows the baby isn't his, but I'm saying he's behaving like a man who wants a paper trail of engaged, present, and devoted fatherhood in case the Nevaeh paternity claim from May didn't end. In the meantime, Nevaeh, this is the portion that makes my chest ache a little. Nevaeh, who weighs 275 pounds and is prepared to breastfeed, tells a doctor that she wants her son to reach his full weight and does not want to give birth 2 weeks early. She's not playing. She's mothering, and he's filming. That's the split. That's what no one on the timeline is saying. One of them is having a baby, and the other is having a project. If I'm wrong, I'll eat it on camera, but I don't think I am. A small disclaimer because I have to say it. Everything above is inferred from public footage and reported claims, alleged, reported, and framed. I don't want this section to hold up if someone is clipping it. You are aware if you have ever been in a medical waiting room. Patients inquire once if they need reassurance. Information-seeking patients ask twice and in different ways. To catch the physician using 2 different phrases. He did just that. The joke about monsters. To the OB, it appeared to be a filthy sexual joke. A public declaration of active intimacy throughout the pregnancy window lies beneath the surface. It becomes contextual evidence in the event that paternity is ever a family court issue. The employment of asserted intimacy assertions on documented timelines is more common than most people realize, according to family court attorneys covering these cases in the public commenting space. The doctor's IG documentation was prompted by the appearance of a blue face. During a 35-week ultrasound, doctors usually do not offer resemblance evaluations. That remark was made. This indicates that the subject was brought up by someone in the room. This indicates that the likeness stated on tape was desired by someone. Nevaeh is eating, sleeping, and carrying routine in the examination room, directed at the physician, an impartial witness, as though telling a story for the record. Before approaching the medical environment, the entire monologue was given in the car, recording his most convincing pregnancy claim as an audio artifact apart from the medical video. 2 clips, 2 situations, 1 story. Both are beneficial. By themselves, any one of those is insignificant. I'll say it again. Add them up on a single Friday afternoon. It begins to resemble a man handling a file rather than a boyfriend. And again, this is an inference, not a charge. The actions are captured on video. It's my interpretation. Reasonable viewers may not agree. However, we might as well watch with an open mind if we're going to spend time on celebrity stuff. This is dynamic, so keep an eye on how things unfold over the following 4 weeks. Nevaeh is scheduled for weekly checkups in late August. At 3:30 on July 31st, August 7th, August 14th, and August 21st. Based on the confirmed August 24th due date, she wants induction at 39 weeks, which puts the baby's birth window around August 17th. At least one of those visits will likely be live-streamed by Blueface. The closer they get, the more satisfied the baby appears to be. Since everything else has been recorded, don't be surprised if a camera setup in a medical room is teased. So, why give up now? In the opposite case, either a second name is dropped or the Nevaeh situation reappears. The trendy new hip-hop piece, Flag's paternity issue, was shelved rather than resolved. The paternity test is conducted in silence after the baby comes. The results are loudly leaking. Watch how quickly every gossip station with a pulse reclips the nicest pregnancy I've ever treated a woman through on tape if it turns out not to be his. Ammunition has been saved by the opposition camp, Krazian side, Jaden side, and the Nevaeh camp. The beginning pistol is the birth. 5 years later, Solo Porter is growing up on YouTube. Javon did the same. Krazian's child is doing the same. Additionally, the Honda Civic with the 20-inch rim clip will still be there when he is old enough to Google himself. The receipts outlive any ranking Blueface believes he is establishing among his new mothers. A car ride monologue is remembered by the internet. It is archived. The residue of the industry. This loop was Blueface's previous brand. Drama, content, baby mama, baby, repeat. It's the business model, not a defect. And he will continue to run it as long as the algorithm rewards it. A paternity result that no one can twist is the only thing that ends the loop. The domino is that. Theater is everything else. Watching the following 4 weeks requires more than just a feeling, so let me sketch out the branching timelines in a bit more detail. The birth was clean. The baby is delivered by induction on or around August 17th. A private paternity test is conducted. Blueface is confirmed by the outcome. I told you all the carousel is posted by him. The birth story reel that Nevaeh shares surpasses all of her prior posts. This time, the Nevaeh problem truly ends because one of the few things that the internet truly retires is a confirmed paternity result. For 6 to 8 weeks, Blueface will be a reformed father. Sells the time period. Monetizes the time period. Then, because the algorithm requires feeding and the reformed dad material has reached its limit, the new debate quietly begins about week 10 postpartum, according to the historical trend recorded throughout the intricate coverage arc. The base case is that I place the greatest emphasis on that result. The birth was muddy. The baby shows up. Test results are disputed, delayed, or partially released. The Nevaeh camp reappears. Maybe a second name comes in. For Blueface, a 48-hour period of silence is a lifetime. Then reappears with a live stream that changes the narrative. Nevaeh's camp reacts asymmetrically, which means that while posting something that appears to be typical parenting content, there is a detail that, to anyone who is paying attention, appears to be coded pushback. This is the result of medium drama. The finest pregnancy footage is given a second chance at life on the timeline in this instance. The inversion. Most explosive, least likely. The test results are not his. Public messaging breaks down. The camps of Jaden and Chrisian re-engage. Every drama channel in the area clips the monologue about the automobile ride. The Blueface team for the historical response pattern will try to dominate the narrative by disputing the chain of custody on the test itself, using the best pregnancy line as the ironic focal point. They have already performed that play for the coverage of the cheating scandal in March 2026. Which lab is used and whether a second independent test is submitted are the only factors that determine whether it is successful. As a long-term effect, no amount of carefully chosen content can reverse the complexity of Solar's eventual public persona. No test, no update, the anticlimax. When the baby is born, everyone shares pictures, the storyline fades into typical celebrity parenting content, and the timeline continues. In the world of celebrity drama, this is the most common ending and the one that would most annoy spectators. However, it is statistically the most typical conclusion to a third trimester hushed celebrity paternity subplot. Vote in the comment section. I'll refer to it as 45% scenario A, 30% scenario D, 20% scenario B, and 5% scenario C. Reasonable individuals will not agree. That's all right. That's the purpose of exhibiting the art. One final glimpse of what awaits industry observers. By Q4 2026, Blueface figures will reflect the commercial residue of this pregnancy. During the birth window, baby-related content has historically increased his engagement floor by an estimated 15 to 25% across platforms. Expect a rebranding attempt, probably a Family Man era, probably with sponsor content, perhaps with a merch drop if Solar's entrance stabilizes his engagement. Expect the opposite, a return to the drama loop with a new partner within 6 months, if Solar's presence destabilizes his commitment. For previously recorded cycles that are publicly available, the base rate for that pivot is extremely quick. The business doesn't wait for injuries to heal. The woman who said, "I've been getting left my whole pregnancy," that flat, tired voice is about to enter the postpartum window with a partner whose history base rate for remaining present past week 8 is not encouraging. This brings us back to Nevaeh. Keep tabs on her content. Keep an eye on her captions. Check to see if the joint posts stay up beyond September. The leading indicators are those. You reach the finish line. I saw what you saw. You already know what to do if this is the type of read that isn't available on any of the other channels that are playing the same clip. I like it. Sign up. Press the bell. I read everyone, so please share your thoughts in the comments. Loading is the second part. This baby will arrive in a few weeks. We'll be present. The secrets of fame are revealed.